So the Y9 2019 is the latest budget smartphone from Huawei. It costs around 38,000 rupees and most importantly, we are giving this away. But before that, let's talk about the phone. When I took the phone out of the box and turned it on, the first thing I noticed was that the phone is huge. It's a 6.5 inches display and I think that's the biggest bezel-less phone I have ever used. I mean, it's bigger than my Mate 20 Pro. One thing that I really like is that the notch is pretty small. It's smaller than the Nova 3i's and it's much less distracting. It doesn't block off your notifications or anything like that, so I don't think it's much of a problem. The bottom chin and the side bezels are also pretty small, so overall, considering the price of the phone, the front panel looks really good. I'm really happy with how the phone looks. The rest of the phone is made of plastic. The back of the phone is designed to feel like glass, but it's actually plastic. The power button is very tactile, but the volume button feels a little bit recessed. I honestly would have preferred if at least the frame of the phone was made of metal. That would have felt so much better. But this is not too bad. One thing that is good about the back of the phone is that the camera is completely recessed, so you don't have to worry about it getting scratches and it doesn't wobble around when you put it on the table. So overall, the device does feel sturdy and I really like how the front panel looks. But because the frame is plastic, it is missing that premium feeling that I love so much in other phones. This phone is packing a Kirin 710, which is actually a really good processor. I used it before on the Nova 3i and the Nova 3i had great performance. And just like that, this phone, the Y9, also has really good performance. Like for the price, the performance is fantastic. There's 4GB of RAM and for the most part I haven't faced problems in the performance. This phone has a GPU turbo update, so even graphically intensive games run really well. Huawei's EMUI in my opinion has been getting better and better with every update. But unfortunately this phone doesn't have the latest update yet. This one is on EMUI 8.2 and Android Oreo. But when the EMUI 9 update comes on this, I think the UI will feel much better. Right now this phone doesn't have the navigation gestures, which I really enjoy on the EMUI 9. So currently I'm using an app for that and it's good, but it's not as good as having them built in. But it's better than nothing. The sensors like the fingerprint sensor and the face unlock are really fast. Like just from the features and how this phone looks, this phone doesn't really feel like a mid-range phone. It has all the features and the performance that you would expect from a high-end phone. The only problem I have with the performance is that there's no fast charging. The battery life is good, it's a 4000 mAh battery and it lasts around 2 days. But I really wish this phone had fast charging capabilities. So overall, great performance, great features, great battery life, but no fast charging. As I mentioned that the display is a 6.5 inch panel and it's huge, but the quality of the display is pretty good. It is a 1080p panel and the colors for the most part are fine. The white balance is slightly blue, so it feels a little bit colder. And on a completely white background, you feel like there's a blue tint. Other than that, the display is great for playing games, for watching movies, for reading. Once you get used to the screen, then it's not much of a problem. Since the bezels are also really tiny, you end up getting a very immersive experience with this phone. When it comes to the camera, this phone is carrying a 13 megapixel primary camera with a 2 megapixel depth sensor in the back. And in the front, there's a 16 megapixel camera with a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Since this is a mid-range phone, you really have to set your expectations right. So for the price, the camera of this phone isn't bad, but in some conditions, it really shows that this is a budget camera. In good lighting, it is capable of taking some really good photos. And combine that with Huawei's awesome portrait mode, you actually end up getting a really good photo. But in mid to low light conditions, you can start seeing a lot of noise. So overall, the camera of this phone is pretty decent, but you really have to get used to it. It's not like you take out the phone and you take a photo and it ends up looking good. You have to fine tune things, play with the settings, see where you can get the best lighting, and that will make your photos look that much better. Some time ago when I used the Y9 2018, I didn't really get interested in that phone. It just didn't grab me. But with this phone, the Y9 2019, it has been a completely different story. It just looks much better. I feel like this is a big upgrade over the last one. Everything in this phone is better than the last one. The display is better, the build quality is better. It just looks much better than the previous version. The price of this phone is at around 38,000 rupees. And this is unfortunately the biggest drawback for me. It's because of the increased taxes and the dollar price in Pakistan, and it just really sucks. If this phone was around 30,000 rupees, I would have been singing a completely different tone. I would have been saying that nothing comes close, just get this phone. But at 38,000 rupees, it's a completely different conversation. I mean, around the same price, you can get the Nova 3i, which has a better build quality and a better camera. So overall, I would recommend this phone, yes, but I would wait until the dollar price settles down a bit, and this phone becomes a little bit cheaper. Fortunately for you, you don't have to wait, because I am giving this phone away for free. So if you are interested in that, see the instructions in the description. And if you are lucky, maybe you'll end up getting this phone. So that was all, guys. Thank you for watching. Again, please follow the instructions for the giveaway, and any questions you have, I will answer them in the comments. Peace.